Yeah, I will. I'm going to get told today. We'll give like a minute or two for people. It's not like it's going to take exactly an hour. No, you never really do it.
I got the email you sent me about the
yeah, because mine's called the American Way of like getting by. Oh yeah, well I get very detailed, but then it doesn't make good notes because it's not outlined correctly. Because it's so much information. Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't work in person as well as it does.
I'm gonna go check out Rex now.
Because your was awesome, Brian.
Weekend was pretty color.
It's just about things just to think about. No, well, no, that now. Watching the students.
Excuses like, well, first of all, it's like, first it's do college stuff and then need as well. And total wall, it's like that.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah, we're just giving people a couple more minutes,
but
so
then he says
before we
stuff
start.
about
Am I just doing it right now?
my Fursuit head, so it's gonna and then he says stuff that but it's really affecting me right now, so it's gonna be a little bit longer, so yeah, Rainfurrest, I found that just things. No, it's so cute.
I know. Why do you question it?
My next verse is going to be of the stuff in the she rolled stuff and stuff. You know, for everybody knows this person has can't throw walk to the person. You know, like something like that. Except for on the doors, it's going to be like a white palm on both sides.
Oh, technically, yeah.
It's going to be a white palm and blue as well.
I hate how people brush their suits because they ruin their suits all the time. I find that 80% of people never brush their suit right. Pulls the fur right out. I don't. Yeah, I would like give it some time before you close it. You know, walking it out.
They don't have enough money.
Because they close it.
Okay. Like when you first
I should make sure I sign.
like the
Yeah, we'll give it one more minute. Okay. And I'm just going to start. How are y'all doing?
I'm great.
Everybody awake?
Good morning.
Anybody want to give me some more energy here? No. Anybody stay up really late last night? There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's good. Well, we'll just start. Okay. So, guys, welcome. Thanks for coming to the panel. I'm Lace, or Roan, whatever which name you want to call me. This is Scribblefox. He's the one who made that suit. We're here to talk about Fursuit maintenance and shipping, and we're going to go off starting about talking about maintenance in particular right now, and then move on to shipping. So, we're talking about maintenance. I'm going to focus by talking first about washing your suit and the proper ways of doing it. So, I don't know if any of you guys wash suits by hand. Some people do, some people don't. Most people use the washer and dryer, but there is times where people are a little bit skeptical, or they have suits that are a little bit too bulked up with foam or something where they have to do it by hand. So we'll go talk about that first. So when you're washing a suit by hand, the first thing you got to understand that people ask me is saying, okay, well, you got your Fursuit head, for instance, and they said, okay, well, can I just dunk the head into a tub of water, submerge it completely in there? And you don't really want to do that. Most people think you can do that. They don't think it would ruin the head, but the problem with that is that if you take a head and submerge it completely underwater, some people make designs, their Fursuit heads you might not know about. It might have brass rivets in it, or they might have a lot of foam, and it might not just be made out of some type of like plastic skeletal structure. So the foam will eventually get full of water, your head will mildew, and it will destroy itself very quickly. And if the brass rivets get in there, with the sweat and then also submerging in water, you will stain the suit inside and out. The brass rivets will probably break and wilt out, and then your suit head will just fall apart. So my suggestion is that if you want to ever wash the head by hand, if you ever feel the need, you can either take a small cloth, don't even have to douse it and get it really drenched. Take a little bit of soap, preferably Woolite because it's very, very friendly on the fur, and just lightly go over your head and just wash it. It's very simple. You can do it the same thing for the inside as well. But you don't have to really do anything more. Heads are not something you typically need to really wash crazily unless you're doing something, whatever the hell that is, where you need the means to do so. And then that's your own fault at that point. So, mostly too, also, just after every time you wear your head or before, all you gotta do is take something like Lysol, spray the outside and spray the inside, and generally that's good enough to wash the suit. Even sweating or not, there is really no strong need to have to wash your head on a regular basis. I probably never washed Ron's head, and Lace's suit that I've had for 4 years, I probably only washed his head twice out of 4 years, and there's no real need for it. When you're dealing with the bodysuits, you can submerge it completely in water. All I suggest is getting a lukewarm water, put it into a tub, submerge the suit in there, get it really nice and wet, and then of course use Woolite, wash it, and then make sure once you take it out, wring it out as best you can, shake it out because you don't want a lot of the water to set in there, of course, and then hang the suit up. Very simple. Like I said, Woolite's probably the best thing to use. If you want to take the time to make the suit dry a lot faster, I would suggest that you use a fan. You don't need to use anything that's hot. Don't ever put a suit, we'll get into this, into a dryer. It's to the obvious reasons why, but also don't use anything like a hair dryer, which people have asked me, because if you do that, your suit's going to melt, very simply, and you're just going to have a fucked up suit. Just use a typical fan, 1 or 2, put it on your fursuit head, put it on your fursuit body, let it run. It cuts down the, I guess, instead of maybe a suit taking 8 hours, it would take about 3 to 4 hours for a suit to dry. It's really that, it really cuts the time exactly in half.
There's a couple bits I'd like to add. One of them is, as far as a bodysuit, the place that gets the most dirty is not the outside, it's the inside. Because you're perspiring, your body secretes salt in addition to water and stuff. Basically the inside gets gunky. So a lot of the time the best thing to do is turn the suit inside out when you wash it so that you're more paying attention to the inside that has the bacteria and whatever else that's gotten onto it. As far as drying it is concerned, brushing is another thing that helps. He can get into the right and wrong ways of brushing, but brushing overall is one of the best things to keep your fursuit looking good. I mean, unfortunately, it's exactly the same as an animal. You know, your dog or your cat, if he runs around outside, he's going to look a little rumpled and ragged. Fursuits get shoved into boxes, fursuits get stuffed in the closet, fursuits end up all over the place. And so they get, and he's a pretty good example of the one, he's a little rumpled. He would look a lot better if he was brushed. So brushing is one of the things that helps to keep the fursuit look good, and it also helps it to dry a little bit faster because you can fluff the fibers of the fur so that more air gets in. One of the things I do recommend as far as drying the suit, try to get it to dry realistically as quickly as possible. I even know people who put like multiple fans, not just one, but literally creating like a tornado around the suit to try to get the suit to dry quickly. Mostly because if the suit takes a long time to dry, again, you can end up with mildew in it, and that's definitely not something you want. It's a nuisance to try to get out. Even under the best of circumstances, you can kill off the mildew, but the scent may stay in the suit. And probably everybody has encountered a suit that's gotten a little mildewy. It's never a good thing. As far as Woolite, there are 2 types of Woolite. Actually, I think we're up to 3 at this point. Woolite Zero is usually the best for fursuits. The reason why is because it's intended for babies' clothes. It's the most gentle, most innocuous detergent you can use on a suit. So it tends to be the most gentle.
That's a good point. So yeah, there's no other real trick to doing it that's pretty much by hand, the easiest way to do it. The drying space that we just discussed and what he discussed when you're actually even using a washing machine is pretty much the same method, which I'll get into. Washing fursuit by a washing machine, there's only a couple things a few things you have to really, really pay attention about. One, when you put your suit in a washing machine, first off, you have to make sure that you turn your suit inside out. Don't put it in with the fur on the outside. If you do that, you will ruin the suit very easily, and it can really damage the fur. Turn it inside out, and besides, like he said before, the inside